If only I could turn back time.
We put the ESN news. Tragedy tonight in the city of Los Santos. Plane crashes at a plane air show causes a train reaction resulting in multiple casualties. An officer has lost his life due to the gunfire of another fellow officer. Multiple car crashes and few bank heists, if you want to believe that. More to come as we dive deeper into the story. First, a word from our sponsor. Hey you ever been bored, broke, and in need of a car, or you're just new in ARP and you're just looking for a job or someone to employ you, or even something to drive, and the economy server has too much of a high price or demand for vehicles? Look no further. Everett Transportation has the job for you, with perfect pay, raises all the time, interviews 24 hours, support teams. Also, if you work for Everett, you will always have a free work vehicle. And if you don't need a work vehicle and you just need a vehicle, look no further. Everett Dealership and Car Rentals has it all. We have Hellcats, we have Jeeps, we have Supers, anything you can imagine, we have it for you, and we will work. We match your budget. Please DM Envy Yagi or Next Ballistics tonight if you ever. That was a good word from our sponsors. Now let's dive into the story of the helicopter crashes. Alright, so first off tonight, what's going on is helicopter crashes and plane crashes during the air show. What happened was tonight, men, women came out to the Sandy Shores airfield to go see a nice plane show when one of the pilots fell asleep behind the wheel, crashed straight into the airfield. As police worked quickly and swiftly to control the scene, more planes are just coming in trying to land and just causing train reactions until a point where most officers possibly lost their life. The scene ended in multiple casualties. Coroner, EMS workers worked their best to just try and get everyone alive and safe as officers stood by and trying to control the scene. Alrighty, as I stated before, most officers were trying to control the scene. At the moment, I have an exclusive interview with one of the officers that were on duty at the time. In fact, is the officer that shot one of his officers. More to that story to come. But at the time being, we're going to get an exclusive interview with that officer. He wishes to stay anonymous. Officer, you may start talking whenever you feel ready. The only question we have right now is, what were the moments leading up to the crash or to the call that you guys got?
Alright, so I'm gonna just sum up the scene for you. Basically, we were called on scene to a plane crash that was happening at the airfield, right? So when we all showed up, it ended up being, I told all the officers, I said, shut it down now. We need to shut down the airfield so we can all contain the scene and make sure everyone's alright in the plane crash. As soon as everyone showed up, we had two officers try and drive down the airfield. I told them not to, so they stopped. And then we apparently had an air show going on, which messed up quite a bit. We all started freaking out because we didn't want to die and we didn't want anyone to get hurt. So I went up to me and another officer went up to the control tower to try and tell the air traffic control that, hey, we need the air traffic shut down now, and we need to contain the scene. Air traffic was not responding, so while we were currently trying to do it ourselves and trying to tell them to stop, nobody's allowed to land or take off from the airfield. And evidently one of the pilots came in and he landed because he had emergency landing clearance, and he crashed. and died, and his charred body burnt to dust. Early cremation, some would say. But and then, so we decided, okay, well, what can we do next? So we all went down there trying to clear up the remains, make sure everything's alright. Then we had people running around with their chicken's head cut off. So we were trying to contain them. We all looked, and they were all people just freaking out because they were trying to catch their flight or something.
Alright. If you can remember, do you know the total of casualties there were at the scene with all the planes just crashing and running into each other?
There were over 20, honestly.
Over 20 casualties. Alrighty, folks, you've heard it here. There were over 20 casualties in the plane incident. Our condolences goes out to their families. If there's any other information that you can give us, officer, could you possibly state it?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
If there's any other information you could release to the public would love to know more insight onto what happened. Is there anything else that you could tell us?
That, honestly, if you have any information about anybody that was flying an aircraft during that day, or any reason why their aircraft might have failed, because we had multiple aircrafts crashing that day and requesting clearance to land. I don't know if maybe their engines were shot out by someone, their mechanical failures, something happened, I don't know. But if you have any information, you can contact the LSPD on their iFruit phones or Google, whichever you want. Alright.
Alrighty, officer, if you mind staying in the studio with us a bit longer, as we might have a few more interviews that we would like to conduct with you. But to everyone listening, you heard it here, folks. Please, if you have any information on what could have happened or what could have caused these accidents, it has appeared that it wasn't the pilot that fell asleep behind the wheel. It must have been something internal or something external. Sir, you're a lieutenant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright, you can email the lieutenant if you have any more information for them. Please
Just
do not
don't
let
email me, sir. Don't email me. Just email me at just email the Los Angeles Police Department at ifruit.net.
You guys heard it here. Email the Los Santos Police Department at I do apologize for the screen that is showing up on you guys' television. Our cameras are experiencing some technical difficulties. Alrighty guys, I think we fixed the difficulties our cameras were experiencing. But more into that story about the plane incidents on a later date, as the police department is still investigating on what could have happened. Again, if you have any questions or you have any information, please call 911, or you can DM.
Don't call 911.
Don't call 911. You can email.
Jesus.
You can email the Los Santos Police Department at Los Santos Police
Or you can call your local,
Department.
or you can call the local police, or you can call the Los Angeles Police Department or Blaine County Sheriff's Department.
There you go, you folks. You've heard it here. Please.
Please do not call 911 for these minor calls, okay? Only call 911 for emergencies only.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. More to a new story about the shooting of a rookie cop. Soon to come, right after this commercial break. Hello, I am Mr. Yagi. I'm with the SEC Agents and Board of Business Department in the Economy server. And I am giving free tours to the server. If you are new or you're a trainee and you are a civ or anyone and you need help navigating through the server, or you have things to pay, or you're just trying to figure out how to buy a doggone car, please just DM me and I personally will help you navigate each and every server that you need. Whatever your trainer did not do and help you navigate the economy server, please just tell me and I got you. Alright, thank you, Mr. Yagi. Thank you for that very inspirational segment on our news and as our commercial. Now, more to the story about how a rookie cop lost his life in the line of duty today. Well, reports to us got that the rookie cop was trying to apprehend a suspect in connections to whatever happened with the planes, as he was trespassing with a firearm, and the rookie cop just so happened to get shot in the back of the neck, fall down and beg for help, as it took officers almost 5 minutes to even administer aid to him. We have another exclusive interview with the lieutenant of the Los Santos Police Department, possibly the officer who shot him, as reports that we have. We're going to hear his side of the story right now. Sir, are you here with us? Can you talk good, sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right.
So, basically, we were already on edge. All my officers were already on edge, constantly trying to figure out the scene. And then we had another person coming to us telling us that they were having some type of a vehicle accident down the road from the airfield. So I dispatched an officer down there to go deal with them. Okay. Then once that was handled, me and another officer were already on scene at the airfield, and we just were filling out the reports, and we were trying to figure out what we could salvage from the scrapyard, apparently. Well, while we were figuring everything out, we seen two people standing there, and we were like, okay, well, these people are just dead bodies, right? Apparently one of them wasn't. Apparently one of them just parachuted down, but I didn't see it. Okay, so I aimed my gun at him and started shooting because he started running away, and I was thinking, oh no, well, if he's dead, so we have to make sure he's dead. Well, so I started spraying him with my carbine rifle Mark II to make sure that he was dead, and the rookie officer made the fatal mistake of getting right into my line of fire.
Alright, sir. We heard that. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know off of my information that we have. One, if the man wasn't dead and he was running away, why would you try to make sure that he is dead instead of administer aid to him?
Well, we were very much on edge, as I said. We had two other people actually shooting firework launchers at other people, killing them. And we didn't know who they were because they were all looking the same. Okay, so we were already on edge, trying to make sure we weren't gonna die and our life weren't in danger. And when he started running away, I was like, okay, well, I don't know who he is, but I know he's not dead anymore. So, like, what's going on? So when he was trying to run away, we were trying to make sure he wasn't going to leave the scene.
So,
And I didn't.
What you're saying
Evidently,
is,
started shooting at him.
what you're saying is you didn't want him to leave the scene, so you took out fatal weapons and shot him.
I didn't have time to think. Okay.
Alrighty. And you said in your statement that you were able to shoot off a few rounds.
Yeah, I was only
At
trying
the
to
end of
injure
this
him.
one.
I wasn't trying to trying to kill him.
Alright. So if you shot a few rounds, in the video that we have, the very disturbing.
You don't have a video.
The very
I don't
disturbing.
give you evidence to a video, sir.
The very disturbing body cam footage that was sent to us by one of your captains. By a captain,
No.
Sir, the body cam footage that was submitted to us by your captain, sir, shows that that there were no bullets flying and the officer was yelling. And he just so happened to just get shot right in the back of the neck.
The
falling
officer
down,
wasn't yelling.
gasping for air.
Okay. The officer wasn't yelling. The only officer yelled after he got shot.
Alright,
Okay.
but he fell down gasping for air. What took you guys so long to administer aid to the point where this man passed out?
My other officers weren't on scene because we only had 2 officers.
Okay, but if it was only 2 officers on scene, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not trying to start an argument, but there were only 2 officers on scene. Why didn't you administer aid to him if you were the second officer?
We were
on scene?
trying. We were trying to catch the guy first, okay? We were trying to make sure he wasn't gonna die, but as soon as my own officer was injured, I was trying as quick as I could to administer aid. It wasn't like I waited 30 minutes just to get him aid.
Alright.
Okay, as soon as I could, I went over, grabbed a med kit, and then administered aid to him, because my vehicle wasn't that close to me. Because I was still blocking off traffic to the airfield, make sure no one was going to come in.
Understandable.
Okay, so by the time that I went back to my car, grabbed the med kit from my trunk, came back to my officer, and started administering aid, it was freaking me out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to lose him. So I'm literally in tears right now, trying to not die, trying to not kill him. And I threw him over my shoulder, slammed him on my car, and then drove with my lights and sirens down to the medical center just so I can give him one last chance of hope.
And I do understand that that officer lost his life inside of the medical center, correct?
Did he?
No, that's the reports that I'm getting. I'm just trying to make sure I get confirmation. I don't want to put anything out to
I haven't gotten any reports back from the medical center yet.
Alrighty, well, have it here first, folks. From the perspective and from the words of the lieutenant, that officer could possibly still be alive, fighting for his life, as the officer made a very, very fatal mistake of walking into the line of fire of his higher up. We do pray.
If he is still alive, I bet he's learning right now.
We do pray for that young man, and we do send our condolences to the family if he does lose his life. On to the next story, everyone. We have crucial information that there's been a robbery in the Xbox server. From my sources inside, I've been told that it could have possibly been the Mafia. Now, the Mafia is a organization that the police have been working endless to catch, and they've pulled off a successful heist. So we really wonder, if they were able to pull off such a heist, how were the police not able to even identify one person? Officer, do you know anything about this, as this was in a different server? So do you have any insight to anything that has gone on?
No, sir, I don't. That's not my area of expertise.
Alrighty, sir. Alrighty, everyone, understand this. We will get to the bottom of the case in the first second we're able to get an interview with anyone that has insight to it. We will let you guys know. Now, about the taco massacre that has been going on inside the PlayStation server. We've heard that multiple officers have lost their lives, put their lives at risk, civilians even, to stop the group classified as a terrorist group known as the Taco Gang. Officer, do you know anything about what's been going on with the Taco Gang? Have you guys even identified one member yet?
No, actually, we've been trying like crazy. Every single member that we've encountered is highly dangerous. If you ever encounter, if I can give you one piece of advice to any member, any person, any civilian out there that tries to encounter a person of the Taco Gang, just stay away. Do not try to associate yourself with their work. They could potentially be very highly dangerous to you. If you encounter them with some type of weapon, call the authorities. Call the Los Angeles Police Department, call the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, Los Angeles Sheriff's Office, or the San Andreas State Troopers.
Alrighty, guys, you've heard it here. If you ever encounter a member of the Taco Gang, please do not put your life at risk trying to approach them or trying to befriend them. Please immediately call the police, call all the departments that this officer has named. Please do not associate yourself
Call your
with
local
them.
police department.
Yes,
Call
call your
911
local
if it is
police
an emergency.
department. Alrighty. Well, we have one more story for tonight. I don't think we have any more sponsors or any more ads, so I guess we can go straight into that story. We have reports of a man putting out multiple hits on people's head and multiple killings inside of the PlayStation server. That man has been identified as Terrell Everett. He is actually, in fact, the owner of Everett Transportation and Everett used car dealership. We have information from a source inside that Everett has put out a total of 20 hits, totaling up to almost $2 million on an individual's quote-unquote street name heads. Please, if you have any information about the whereabouts of Terrell Everett, please call your local department. Don't call 911 if it's not an emergency. Try to get in contact with your local department. He is a highly dangerous individual. I've have reports of police opening up an investigation onto his properties, saying that he has multiple drugs and guns smuggled in and out of his trucks. Please do not associate yourself with this man or his companies. He is a very dangerous man. If there's nothing else that this officer has to say, we want to thank everyone that is listening for tuning in. We want to tell you guys, have a nice night and have a beautiful day. Thank you to all affiliated network for listening in. Officer, do you have anything you'd like to say to anyone?
Sleep safe, guys.
Alrighty, you've heard it here. Sleep safe, have a nice night, and possibly a beautiful morning. ES News signing off. Have a nice night, affiliated network.